I have two master's degrees, and there are weeks where a sink full of dishes can genuinely stop me. Not because I don't know how to wash a dish, I know how to wash a dish. Something else is going on. And it took me until my 40s and a fight with my own kid to figure out what it was. My mom had a theory, and honestly, it wasn't a bad one. She thought childhood was a short window, a few years where a brain is soft enough to absorb an education, and if you spend that window well in school and learning some basic values such as respect and honesty, you'd be all set. And the rest, cooking, cleaning, laundry, those are too easy of tasks, she said. You can learn them whenever you actually need to use them. So my siblings and I studied, and we have the degrees to show for it. By her metrics, we won. And then I moved out. The thing she called easy has turned out to be the thing I've struggled with the most in my entire adult life. Not for a year, for decades. Here's what took me so long to understand, and it's the reason I made this video. It wasn't the skill. I can follow a recipe. I can toss my clothes in a washing machine. That did take a few hours to learn, like she said. What I never got was the wiring underneath it. The thing that says, this is mine. Nobody is coming. I'm the one responsible for it. And I stay on top of it before it becomes a crisis. That's not a skill. That's an identity. And that identity is developed in the short window. Now, here's the part I'm proud of. I was doing the exact same thing to my son. School first, soccer, reading, and dishes? Who cares? If I do them myself, it'll go by faster. And if you said that sentence, congratulations, we're the same. Then I saw a social media post. It said a Harvard longitudinal study found the kids who did chores turned out to be the most confident and the most stable. And I did a 180 overnight. And then, because I'm me, I had to look it up, the validity of this study. There is no Harvard chore study. There's a real study. It started in 1938. It followed people for almost 90 years, and it's generally one of the greatest pieces of research we have. But it followed 268 Harvard men, and its actual finding was that it's love and relationships that improve the quality of life. There is a real chore study, though. It's a small study out of Minnesota and a much better one that followed about 10,000 kindergartners and found that kids doing chores early showed more self-confidence and more social confidence a few years later. That one's solid. It's also correlational. It's a nudge, not a law. So I got sold a claim that was half invented, and I kept the change anyway. Because when I looked at why the claim felt true, I found something the study never said and didn't need to. This summer, my kids are in the kitchen. They're doing dishes. They're pitching in with laundry. My older one can make pancakes. And what I noticed is not that he acquired a skill. It's what happens on his face when someone eats what he made. He fed people. He is 11 and he fed people. That's not a chore. That's the first time a kid gets to be on the giving end of the thing that has been done for him every single day of his life since he was born. You cannot teach that at 25. At 25, it's just chores. I want to push back on something, including on myself, because I used to say this. We call these things a necessary evil, the boring tax you pay for being alive. And if that's what we believe, our kids will smell it. They'll absorb the same attitude. Here's what I actually think now. We've been given a body to care for, a space, materials. If we can't feed ourselves and can't keep our space tidy, we can't enjoy our gifts. The meal is not the interruption of the good life. The preparation of the meal, taking pride in it, that is the good life. These aren't the tax on the gifts. That's how you take care of the gifts. My mom gave me a short window and she filled it with the best things she knew. I'm filling mine a little differently, and I don't think that's a betrayal. I think that's the whole job. You do the best you can with the information you have. So tell me in the comments, what's the one chore you still resent as an adult? And I have a follow-up question that's going to be a little controversial. Should you pay your children to do the chores? Some people feel strongly either way. What do you think?